According to a new report this week from John Carl writing in The Atlantic, when Judge Tanya Chutkan set her trial date for late March 2024, so this coming March, Donald Trump was so irate that he took his lawyer, Todd Blanche, and screamed profanities at him for half an hour. Like 30 minutes, just screaming profanities and blaming the lawyer for the trial date that the judge had set. Now, let's not forget, of course, that Jack Smith, the special prosecutor, had requested a January 2nd trial start date. Donald Trump's lawyers said, hey, what if we did it in 2025? Actually, they may have said 2026. I can't remember. But anyway, they're like, yeah, totally not happening next year. And Judge Tanya Chutkan was like, let's meet in the middle. You want it in 2 months. You want it 2 years from now. How about we do it in March? I loved it. It was a great decision. But Trump was so pissed about it that according to the people close to Donald Trump who spoke to John Carl with The Atlantic, Trump then screamed at Todd Blanche for about a half an hour, saying things like, quote, "That's in the middle of the primaries. If I lose the presidency, you are going to be the reason." He also said, "You little effer, you are going to cost me the presidency." Maybe, but maybe not. You know, Raw Story actually pointed out the fact that Donald Trump's support within the Republican Party has, shockingly, actually gone up every time he's been indicted. So if he is convicted, based on the fact that he gets more popular with Republicans every time he's indicted, we would kind of have to assume that if he's convicted, his support with Republicans is going to go through the roof, right? The problem is not the Republicans, right? Donald Trump's got that nomination on lockdown. And I do think that if he's convicted, his support among Republicans is going to go through the roof. The problem is with not Republicans. In every election, there's crossover voters, right? You have hardcore Republicans that for some reason this election, like, I'm going to vote for a Democrat. Every election you have hardcore Democrats that say, I'm going to vote for the Republican. If you have a candidate, if you got a guy at the top of your party that is convicted of serious felony charges, the number of those crossover voters that you're used to, maybe 3-4%, that's not going to materialize. But more importantly, your support among the independents, the non-party affiliated voters, that's going to plummet. That's what's going to hurt Donald Trump the most. He knows that it's not going to hurt anything with the primaries. But those independent voters, those crossover voters from the other side too, they're not going to materialize for Donald Trump. And if you do not have that, especially, of course, the independent voters, the no party affiliation, the disaffected voters, if you can't get those people, you can't win an election, whether you're a Democrat or Republican. And having a felony conviction under your belt, possibly by the time next year's general election rolls around, possibly 2 felony convictions, maybe 3 felony convictions, that's not going to help you, okay? You're not going to succeed in a general election with those kinds of things hovering over you. The independents are not going to support that. Most of them will go to the Democratic nominee, possibly a third-party nominee, but you're not going to get them. So you're not going to win. And that is what freaks Trump out. That's why he doesn't want any of his trials to start before the election. Because he knows deep down that that is political kryptonite. And that is why he was so pissed off at his lawyer for doing such a piss-poor job of trying to push that trial date back by a couple years. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.